Sounds like I'd take it. You offer me that movie.
This was his only movie credit, his only acting credit.
I can see
This
why.
man, so this the movie.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
That's why I said I'm mad that I liked it. Like, I'm really pissed.
He's tidy.
Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
I'm getting it. Holy shit. So this might be a first. I've never seen this movie. I've heard about it and I thought I was prepared for it. Yeah, I have a ton of thoughts because
before you get into those thoughts, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos. This movie confused me.
Before we get into that, we want to thank everybody who's been rocking with the podcast, who's been following us on this little 80s action, extravaganza that was kicked off by Marcos. This is the last week for a while of the 80s action podcast, and it was Marcos's pick. But again, if you like what you listen to, if you like hanging out with us, please subscribe on YouTube and all your different podcast platforms, and tell everybody you love about the pod so they can come join and laugh with us. Now, with that being said, Marcos, what the fuck?
First of all,
the fuck?
For dramatic effect, I have a pair of broken glasses here. The fuck am I watching?
How did you? Okay, tell the people what movie it is, because this is a very deep cut movie, and I've seen this before when I was younger. There's only one part of this movie I remembered, and I'm glad. But go on to tell the people what movie we saw.
We saw Gymkata. 1985. The mid 80s really.
They was doing everything.
I don't know what was in the water. I don't know what kind of cocaine they were serving up to these producers. First of all,
no. It's like this is like the 80s version of Space Jam. You take someone who's athletic, who was known in the world, and you try to turn him into a movie star.
So, Kurt Thomas is a gymnast that won the American gold. I don't know what Olympics, but he's a gymnastic champion.
Yeah.
And this is I believe who made this movie? I want to say is this another Globe action movie?
I don't know where it came from, bro. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who
it's not. Holy shit. This is the MGM produced movie.
Oh yeah. I swear, it had the lion.
I thought this was like the what's it called? The people that did the Electric Boogaloo. No, this movie had
like Cannon.
Yes, this movie had, what was the budget? And I know you made fun of me saying that I'm always about the numbers. This movie had like a $4 million budget, and I want to know, where did this budget go?
Listen. I mean, I think they shot on location. I think they had the Olympian as the star. They had Richard Norton as the main villain. And, anybody who's watched enough Jackie Chan movies knows that Richard Norton is a classic when it comes to 80s action villains.
So this is based on a movie called on a book called The Terrible Game from 1957.
Terrible.
And,
that's exactly.
And it's like this book is so bad that if you go on the Wikipedia, there's no hyperlink for it. It's just like parentheses, terrible game. And so, first of all, God bless Kurt Thomas. He's an Olympic gymnast.
Yep.
And somehow somebody said, instead of Wheaties, we got something for you. So the movie. Hey,
listen,
bro.
Listen. So historically, people don't make a lot of money doing gymnastics. You get to the Olympics, you do all that, then you either teach in gymnastics somewhere, or you join the circus, or you become fucking Robin in Batman. Like, the idea of parlaying gymnastics into a movie career sounds like I'd take it. You offer me that movie.
This was his only movie credit, his only acting credit.
I can see why.
The movie. He's a gymnast.
He actually wasn't the worst.
First of all, this movie, like, this movie kicks off like I don't know if they did a hatchet job with the editing. He goes from what it seems defending his title in some Olympic games to immediately not even from like going into a back room in a house saying, "Hey man, we're recruiting you to be an agent." Like, right? Like he literally gets on the pole vault and then he's in an office that seems to be in his house with an unknown guy that's saying, "Hey, we're recruiting you." There's no handlers, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
I thought like a series of jump cuts.
I thought he might have been a spy while at the games or something because it literally just went right to it.
Yeah, it was no. So apparently, I can't make this up. He's recruited to enter a deadly competition. So think of the game. Think of Enter the Dragon, but for gymnastics.
Listen, I was talking to Chris. That's exactly how I described the movie. I said, it's Enter the Dragon, but with gymnastics.
And the fake country is called Parmesan. Like Parmesan. Like, yo, oh my God. So
dude, they literally took the Enter the Dragon storyline and tried to recreate
got
it.
drunk and made it work.
Bro, it is.
So, bro,
there's a lot of things in this movie that made me go like, who paid for what? Why? Who did the casting? Who did the casting in this movie? That's what I want to know.
So he gets brought to this house that eerily looks like the same house that he got recruited in, but he left to it. And it's the same house, same background. And he gets trained by 3 random dudes that we're told are experts in whatever the hell was. And they brought in this actress, Techi Agbayani, who's Filipino.
Bro.
She's Filipino. And they threw her in as this princess, Rubali, who happens to bro.
She had 4 lines the entire movie.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling had more lines in Drive.
Bro, this holy shit.
Look, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you an honest question? All right.
Yes.
Because again, Filipino girl, she's playing the princess of this Parmesan. Because her dad's the king of Parmesan. Why is her dad the most Jewish person I've ever seen in my life? He looked like the grandfather from fucking Willy Wonka.
Bro. Not even that. Can we talk about the fact that the training that they put him through is the longest stretched out montage? Like some of the moves he's doing, like yo, he meets the princess and she immediately pulls a knife on him. And then he goes, "You shouldn't trust anybody." And I'm like, bitch, what? And can we talk about the secret agent that recruited him? And it's like, nah, my dude, I ain't gonna be a part of this mission. And then disappears. Until halfway through the movie. So we get through this montage in which apparently he needs to use his hands to go up some steps.
Yeah, he has to learn how. Listen, this man, you mean to tell me this Olympian gymnast can't walk up some steps in a handstand? Come on. What is and then whatever the dude was yelling at him while he was going up, I couldn't tell what language it was.
Yes. And first of all, and then what did the black guy do with him? Wasn't the black guy with the stick or something?
Yeah.
What did the black guy do with him? Like kept hitting him with a stick?
Like martial arts. He was doing something like hand to hand, and then he started teaching him like the bow staff.
Bro, and then first of all, in typical 80s fashion, if I was him, I would have had some notes about the script.
It's his first movie. He can't have notes.
Bro, this girl kept smacking him, and then he's kind of like, I want to have sex with her.
Yeah.
And then he went to like slap her back, and then she's like, "You got it. Now you can have me." And they had sex. And then the training ended. There was no defined time period. It seemed like it was 18 hours, he learned, and then got on a boat that didn't even look like a ferry. It looked like one of those boats that take you out to look at dolphins in the Caribbean.
No, dude. When they got off the boat, right? When they got off the boat to this whatever the country is, which is it just looked like the Hudson Bay. Like it just looked like they just filmed the shit in New York. He gets off. He gets his bag. The guy's like, no, the crew will take it. So then he gets off, and then just his boys that he was with pick up his bags.
And then can we talk about?
Oh shit!
Can we talk about when they get to the fucking Pakistan or whatever the hell they were at? Why was everybody angry at him particularly?
Well, listen. I don't know what country it's supposed to be because Richard Norton, his character's name was Samir. And the only thing that looked Samir about him was the fact that he had a beard. But everybody in there was just like, clearly it just looked like a medieval Jewish town. I was like, who? It looked like somebody just asked their whole family to come be the cast for this movie.
And then I'm like, all right, they're setting up a scene. They're setting up the stage of where this country and how it is. But bro, everybody from the people walking there to the vendors are out to kill this man.
Yep.
Maybe this country does not need to be saved because everybody's apparently evil here.
Yeah.
And then this is when the movie just falls off the rails completely.
You don't like a 20-minute chase scene?
Bro, the 20-minute chase scene and
everybody dressed like a 1920s gangster just chasing them. Like,
no, can we talk about how he found a perfect stick in between a perfect parallel bar in between two buildings and didn't hit the two bad guys and then hit a random when he hit that random dude and say, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Just running.
Yo, why did I feel like that was an outtake that they just left in?
No, dude. Okay, so that whole section of like the princess getting kidnapped, him having to go find her, and then it had shit to do with the fucking game. They just put it in there.
They just put it in there, and then when he went back and everybody's gone, like it was like they were all ninjas. I was like, what the hell? And this led to what might be the most incredible chase scene I've ever seen in my life. Did you notice that the guys in the car, there was scenes that the guy that was driving the car was driving the car in one cut, and in the next cut he's running in the streets after him. And then they kept showing, and it was like he's getting out the car and running, and then his boys driving, and then they'll take it. Because I was like, bro, I was like, what the hell is going on? And can we talk about the rubber guns?
Yeah.
Did you notice how when they were running, the guns were bending?
Yeah, they're all flopping around.
Bro,
why does someone make this movie?
I don't know. I don't know. Did they have to launder money? Was this to launder drug money? Because I felt like it was.
I feel like someone's agent, someone was like the agent of the gymnast, and they're like, hey, we should make a movie starring. He's got good looks, and we can just, make an action movie with him. We'll just steal this whole idea from this Bruce Lee movie, but we'll make it white,
Bro. Like, and then when he finally finds her, and then the one guy takes out the only one gun that they had in the scene that was in the drawer. Everybody else has obviously fake guns. And at a certain point, one of them is not even holding it properly, the machine gun. And I was like,
it's the 80s.
Bro, did you see how many times they kept reusing the running footage? And and
Yeah,
there
they can
was
run-
there was clear shots so that they were running past him, and
Yeah.
they recut it to
Mhm.
not make it like the one
Listen,
guy kept going through the same corner multiple times.
it's super low budget, filmmaking. Again, like I feel like somebody just had the idea of like, hey, let's capitalize on this guy's gold medal win, and we're gonna steal this one idea, and you're gonna put a little bit of money into it, we'll finagle some shit, but then I don't know. I just feel like this is the epitome to me of a cash grab. It's
This almost, I thought this was made by National Lampoons. When
I
the
mean,
guy that was the contact there,
turned out to
when
be
they were like, when he was like, ha ha. And then who was it? Richard Norton came out and was like, ha ha, reverse, and shot the guy. I was like, why didn't you just go with them? He was like, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Then, motherfucker, you should have stayed.
Dude, no, but the guy, the handler that sent him on this mission to go save the girl, just for him to save the girl, then to come back and him be like, actually, I'm one of the bad guys.
Yes.
And then I'm like, what? Like, why did you just go through all this?
He could have just shot him right then.
Yeah. And then listen, and then mind you, they finally get to where this tournament game is, and it's like American Gladiators.
No, you're not going to gloss over the fake ass whitewater rafting that they did. They were like, bro, the raft was doing this,
bro. There was riding horses. Then all of a sudden, there was on a raft with life preservers and helmets. I'm like, where the hell did you get all that shit?
Yes, and then they were paddling fast while the raft is going.
You would think if this girl is the princess of this country that she could just get to the kingdom or the castle, right? Like when they wrote this script, do you think they had a script? Do you think they wrote this story out and was like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do?
I hope that the whole movie was improv. This is the only way that shit makes sense. If the whole movie is not improv, Jesus Christ, what drugs were they on?
Bro, I want to know what drugs they took to decide that, hey, when he comes back to the castle, it's going to be a zombie land. And there's going to be a random pommel horse in the middle of this alley, and he's going to start doing gymnastics to kick everybody in the face.
Bro, that is the scene that I kept seeing. That's what made me. That's the only reason I know this movie.
That's the one scene I remember.
That it's like, yo, this is the equivalent of Bruce Lee running after thugs, and they pull out guns, and then somebody just happens to have two sticks connected to a chain, and he's like,
no, it's not even that. Yeah, it's not even. It's literally like, he just. It basically, you go down, you're running with nothing. All of a sudden, you turn the corner, and there just happens to be a fucking, Terminator 2 Gatling gun in the middle, and you're just gonna,
like, bro.
At one point, he was fighting the dude. I think he was fighting Richard Norton. At one dude, he kicks him. Richard Norton backs up. This dude backs up and does like a round off into a backflip splash.
Bro. I think if you just find this scene on YouTube, the pommel horse one, I think you'll know exactly everything you need to know about this movie. And the way that they made this, first of all, I didn't even believe that country could afford satellites, and the whole thing was about selling satellite rights to other countries. Bro, they couldn't afford a gun in the movie.
So it was about selling satellite rights, but like it was because certain people in the country or town wanted to stay like, old school. And they were saying like the younger ones wanted to like be a little more modern. That had nothing to do with the story at all. But I remember them saying that.
So Colonel Cabot, how was he alive at the end of the movie?
Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
He shows up alive, and then people are cheering, and the crowd cheers for the champion. I'm like,
no, but again, like all these people that were cheering, where were they when he went into the fucking alleyways where everybody just happened to be like possessed and trying to kill him?
Bro, This movie comes in at like 86 minutes, and I found myself rewinding it because I thought I missed the part. I was like, "Ain't no way, ain't no
I,
way this is a complete movie." Like, bro, I literally spoiler alert. There's a reason this movie is not streaming for free. I had to find it. I'm like, wait, did I get the wrong one? Did I get a bridged copy? Like, I thought it was like a super cut where somebody's like, these are the important parts you got to see.
yeah.
I thought it was like a compilation of scenes. No, it felt like somebody edited this movie and left the entire plot out and was like, let's just use this.
Dude, it felt like somebody made the whole introduction scene of like him training and all that, and then the fucking the tournament thing, and then they were like, oh, this is only like a 45-minute movie, we need to add some stuff. And then they added in this whole thing about the girl getting kidnapped and then him having to save her. Like, that's the only way that makes sense. There's literally no reason for that to happen at all in the movie.
Why were those guys horseback riding?
Ooh,
Why did
ninjas?
they
Look
look
like Robin
like
Hood.
yes, they look like medieval night ninjas.
I'll tell you, someone just took all these different tropes. They're like, oh, these are what bad guys look like. This is what a foreign country looks like.
Bro, they literally
Dude, hold on. We forgot. Remember when they was on crossing the ropes?
Yep.
And every time these motherfuckers got shot with the arrow, they would let go. And it just looked like someone just took a dummy, like they throwing Jazz out the house in Fresh Prince and just threw it down.
Yes. But because I'm looking at my notes here, because this is I had to start taking notes because I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna remember half this shit. Shit. My wife walked out. She saw the first 20 minutes of the movie and was like, what the hell you watching? And then I goes for the podcast. She's like, cool. She went upstairs and started folding clothes.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even dared subject my wife to this. She looked at me like, bro, you need some Tylenol or some shit.
This movie, in the chase scenes that involved the car, I keep going back to that. When they were going between the buildings, they used two cars without. They had only one car, but in the scenes, the way that they cut them together, I guess it was shot on 2 different days. The car kept switching.
Yeah, before you finish that, let me go to take a piss real quick. Hold on.
Go ahead, go do your thing.
What about that random muscle guy that showed up, like in the last 20 minutes of the movie?
I don't know.
The dude act like he knew him, but like he didn't say nothing, and then for some reason he just kept trying to like beat up everybody in the fucking tournament.
Can we talk about that? It's not the CIA; they call it the SIA.
Bro, I don't know.
And then they were like, "Oh, not only do we want you to help us, but your dad is also an undercover SIA agent as well." They gave us a lot of information in the beginning of this movie. Like I felt like
he went to the king and was like, "Hey, my dad was in this tournament. How did he do?" Like, your dad's dead. And then all of a sudden he just shows up as a ninja for no reason.
alive and well. And then okay, so the king is there, but then the actual enemy is his right hand man.
Yeah. Well, so Richard Norton's character, who's the kind of the right hand man, he's essentially trying to create his own army and overthrow him. His army is like maybe 15 people deep, just 15 ninjas. They don't do nothing
on horses.
Yeah, and like there's just I don't get it doesn't show anything in this country that's worth having. But
they have a satellite system.
Yeah, they got satellite system. They can't wash their clothes. Everybody's all in like disheveled, dirty clothes. It felt like someone, again, maybe a producer or someone just started throwing out all these different ideas about like what they think, again, a foreign country, what a special agent should do, and they just kind of just tossed it all into a movie. I commend someone from actually at least putting something together that could somewhat resemble a movie.
Bro, Thorg? What's up with Thorg?
Thorg. Yeah, he just came out of nowhere.
He's like, yeah, I'm Thorg.
This dude who clearly wasn't drinking any of the wine was just like, oh, hey, what's going on, man? How are you? And then we're like, dude just looked at him like, trying to ignore him.
Yo, is it me or this movie felt like it was dubbed, but it wasn't? Like everybody looked like they were surprised to be on camera every single time. Every single time. Even the girl, I felt like, and this has happened with movies, and sitcoms when the people are not either they having trouble with lines. Like I felt like somebody was standing behind the camera with the script, like right there with cue cards, like to say your lines because the princess was like a lot of the movie.
Listen,
Exactly.
no, because there's a part in this movie. Listen, and this is why I think it's just like somebody just had a bunch of ideas and tried to. Because at one point in the movie, the princess is trying to convince her dad that like his right hand man is the one that's trying to like take over everything. So they go to escape. So one, why is she wearing a like traditional Chinese outfit, and her dad's in like fucking burlap sacks and shit like that? And all of a sudden she takes off the top and she's got a fucking full leotard outfit on. And they start running away, and she only knows how to do one kick the entire time.
Hey, because she's mashing the one button, bro. She's mashing the one button.
She only had that one right leg. She just kept throwing that one.
Bro, it was like if at the beginning of the movie when they wrote it, it was like this is like Pakistan or something stan.
Yeah.
And then they were like, nope, it's an Asian country. What Asian country? We don't know. They don't know.
It's clearly they clearly tried to make it look like a Middle Eastern country.
Yep.
Well, like Baghdad,
with Asian actors.
Yeah.
With Asian actors.
No, I think she's the only Asian one. Everybody in there is clearly Jewish. Clearly. I looked and I was like, man, like, because I was watching, I was like, oh, it's a lot of white people in this Middle Eastern town. And then I'm like, then why is she this dark Asian princess?
Yep.
And then Richard Norton's got like a dark beard, but he's got really nice hair.
Did she sleep with him in the first 10 minutes of the movie so he could give a shit about helping her? She got kidnapped?
Because she was overseeing his training, but all she did was just look out the window the entire time.
Angrily, like she was pissed for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who came up with this movie. It's just it boggles my. It feels like at some point somebody had some money, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do this." Bro, I can't think of any other reason why a movie like this exists.
So we can review it. That's the whole reason. Like,
but
bro, this might be the shortest pod that we ever had because this movie fucking sucks. Like, I don't
listen. There's a big difference. Maybe you can agree or disagree with me. There's a big difference between a movie that sucks and a movie that's not entertaining. I contend this movie sucks, but I was entertained. Oh boy, I was entertained.
But not for the right reasons. Bro, the person that wrote this movie is the same guy that did Blind Fury, which is arguably an Oscar-nominated movie compared to this. And Blind Fury was guilty pleasure, and which was like late 80s or early 90s. I forgot. That's the Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Like something about our country, we like to put white guys with samurai swords and be like, and give them like an interesting story. Like they're better than the Asian guy that taught them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. They clearly thought they had something with Kurt Thomas, right? Because he is, he is an Olympian, good-looking guy, young. They're like, okay, maybe this can, put him on a trajectory to then be some kind of action star. But boy, they needed to get with some other people to make this movie because, it felt like someone owed someone some money.
I feel like the reason the country hated him is because he was wearing some form of red, white, and blue the entire movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, they don't really like Americans, and he's like, I wonder why, bro. You are the walking flag, like literally.
Well, dude, the best fight scene was between Thorg and that one Asian dude that was the fucking one of the competitors.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes in this movie where they're like, hey, just go do some gymnastics shit. Like when he's trying to talk to the girl and she won't pay attention, so he's just doing 360 backflips and pretending to.
They were like, oh, you see, this is why we hired him. This movie
reminds me of like if they made like You Got Served, but back in the 80s. It's like that level of just like what is going on.
Bro,
You know?
this is why I thought it was made by Canon, because of I thought this was like gymnastics breaking.
Yeah.
Like in breaking, like the dude, like in normal movies, he'd be like, "Hey man, what do you do?" "Yeah, I work at this liquor store because I'm poor and I gotta know." But in breaking, he's like,
Okay, but here's the
sweeping
thing.
and shit. Like,
A movie like Breaking, it can look low budget because it's in the neighborhood. It's familiar things. So like, you can keep that cost low. And this movie, I felt like they had like grand ideas. They just didn't have the budget or anything or the know-how to execute.
they built a set and all this stuff. Like, yeah, they were trying to make this like a gymnastic James Bond. You
Yeah.
know who arguably made a better version of this movie,
Who's
and
that?
it's kind of the same idea, is Richard Greco. Remember when he what is it, Too Young to Die or something like that?
If looks could kill?
Yeah, if looks could kill, when he
Yeah.
was the high school kid that
Yeah.
accidentally got a. It's the same exact movie
Yeah.
without the princess, except they executed it better.
Yeah. No. This trope, this whole trope of like taking someone, to kind of fish out of water, but taking someone and then training them or doing something so that they become a secret agent. It's happened a long time ago, like for a long time. This movie, fucking again, The Looks Could Kill, The Tuxedo with fucking Jackie Chan, like
Yep.
we've seen it throughout history. So it's
Yep.
just a matter of like, how did this movie get made when they've seen examples of how to do it right? Like, what do you think they were trying to swing for the fences? They just didn't have the money to make it look to go right. Because it is, like you said, it's MGM.
I think they hedged their bets that because this guy was a gymnast, that he could do choreography as well. And the fact that I think the fact that they had to throw in the pommel horse in the
Yep.
middle of probably the best fight scene that they had for him
Mhm.
is telling that they're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do with this guy?" This
Well, the
guy,
thing-
like it's like I did not see him do an unassist kick. He just kept running and flipping.
Yeah, he would run, flip, and then do a random kick or a punch, and then another flip. But here's the thing: I contend that of all the crazy things in this movie, he's actually not bad. He doesn't have shit to work with. If he had a better crew, better whatever, I think he could have pulled something off. I just think he was
So
wasn't in the right movie.
I'm trying to think of an Olympian. Well, we don't even have to think about that. Hollywood does this all the time with people that are famous, and like look at an example, Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano.
Yep.
They're fighters in UFC.
Mhm.
And they've arguably had pretty good movies that use those specific talents
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Haywire with Gina Carano,
Yeah.
which
Haywire was clearly just a vehicle for her to show off her stuff.
correct. And they did a decent plot around it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like all of a sudden she found herself in a circle cage and started to like grapple the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
They built scenarios where her fighting was like warranted and looked plausible in this way. Because I think it was Steven Soderbergh who
Yeah.
made that movie, if I'm not mistaken. That's the same dude that did like Oceans, I think.
Yeah, and comparative to this, I felt like it was a product of the production team and the studios that were available at the time. I
Yeah.
think somebody now, because we've seen this in Asian culture, where you have people like Jet Li and what's it called, dude from Ong Bak, Tony Jaa,
Yeah.
where they started to make the movie around his skills. And which is not necessarily always fighting. Like there's been gymnasts that've done movies like this.
Yeah.
Like like Van Damme was a martial artist, but he was also a ballet dancer and all this stuff. So they built the scripts around his strength.
Mhm.
And even back then you could do it, because one of the best vehicles I think for Van Damme at the time was No Retreat, No Surrender. They were like, oh, this guy has a heavy accent, doesn't really know how to act, but they made him the coolest, toughest bad guy at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they had somebody talk for him. It's almost like wrestling.
Mhm.
And they kept his scene short.
Yeah.
I think if you would have put Kurt Thomas and what, aka Jonathan in his movie, his character, his name in the movie, and put him around a decent stunt team and put him in situations like, yo, you instead of the buildings, you could have had him like they did this in a District 13 B13. Just have him in a place that he can use the environment around him, and not in a comical way.
Yeah,
Like, yo, that the pommel horse and the uneven bar, there's no way structurally that those things are randomly there.
Yeah. Well, no, again, like there was that one scene where I think it's the first fight scene where he's like, I think he's saving someone or whatever, and he's chasing him down the alleyway, and he gets in a fight with a couple of guys, and it actually isn't bad. He takes down the guys, they grab him, he runs up the wall and does a backflip, things like that. It's like, okay, like if you're with a stunt crew who's used to like, okay, integrating acrobatics into the choreography, I think it would have been great. I think what happened was you had an American or a type of a stunt coordinator or a fight coordinator who is used to like bar room brawls, and they were like, hey, add in some of your gymnastics to this, and then you got what you got.
Like they could have had balconies that were just actually there, and then he could have used like a part of the balcony to flip off and stuff, like a random pole that did not connect to any apartments, did not connect to anything, was just there.
Yeah.
Like what is that, to keep a truck from coming down the street? Like what was that there for?
Yeah, I mean, you could at least made it look like, okay, they hung clothes on it or something.
Yeah,
do something where like, oh, he grabs onto something.
Like they might as well just zoomed in and saw Olympic level uneven bars right there. Like they should have just, like, I would have gone full gag and had like the powder right there. Him would have been like, oh. And then just jump up.
You would have set that up next to like a fucking bakery, and he fucking bumps into the baker, and all he gets is powder everywhere. He's like, oh, and then jumps up. Yeah. There's different ways of setting it up. I don't know. I give them credit for trying to pull something off. Obviously, like, one of the hardest things about making a movie is actually finishing the movie. So they got to that point, but it's clearly just something that it just felt like there was. Yeah, it was made as they went. It doesn't feel like they had the idea and try to put it out there.
And this movie was released in theaters.
Was it? Oh, and you're right. Because I brought that up to my coworker. I was like, oh yeah, this week we're reviewing Gymkata, and she just turned around. She was like, Gymkata, holy shit! Like, oh, okay, so if people that were around that time like remember it clearly. But clearly for the wrong reasons.
Did they watch it in the theater themselves?
I'll have to ask her. I'll have to ask her if she went. But
I was about to say, because that's a sick pull that she recognized the movie. Like,
well, there's certain movies. There's certain movies that again you don't hear. Like you haven't heard about it in forever. All of a sudden, someone says the name. You're like, what the fuck? I can't believe. Yeah, that movie. Like when someone says American Ninja.
Yeah. There's certain movies like Missing in Action. I know what they are, but if you tell me like, oh yeah, in part 1, and you start describing, I'd be like, no, but I thought it was about this. So you'd be like, no, that's like part 3. I'd be like, oh, that's probably the only one I saw.
I would forget. I would mix it up with the wrong movie. I'm like, ain't that the part where he's on the motorcycle and then he grabbed the motorcycle, went up in the plane? Like, nah, that's Delta Force. I was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. So, okay. So would you recommend this movie?
Again, is a big difference between a good movie and an entertaining one. And I would recommend it just off the basis of, but I'd only recommend to people who, watch movies. If you're a movie person, I'm like, hey, check this out.
All right. In your job, you travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're doing long European leg, or you're going to the Middle East to perform. Yep. And you got one of those double-digit number flights.
Yep.
And somebody goes to you like, hey, Sarat, man, I just want to watch something. I know you got the pod. What do you recommend? Will you give him this Gymkata? Will you give him this as a recommendation and then sit and watch them the entire time? You wait until they queue it up and then they end it just so you be like,
well, listen. If there's someone who watches movies, who likes movies, I would have recommended them. If there's someone who just like is casual when it comes to movies, no, because I'm like, they don't have the bandwidth to appreciate what they're about to watch. But
So-
someone who's a cinephile or someone who's just like is you know, a connoisseur of movies, I'm like, hey, check this shit out.
When you watched it, did you immediately think of people that you work with that you're like, bro?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Clearly.
like you send them the name and you even send the link and be like, enjoy.
I was talking to so that's the reason why my coworker heard it, because I was talking to a guy. I was like, yo, I was like, we're watching this movie called Gymkata, and she just overheard. She was like, Gymkata, holy shit,
bro. So that is
would you recommend this movie?
I'll recommend it.
No, matter of fact, who would you recommend this movie to? If you were to?
All my guy friends, just because I'm a dick. And there's certain people that I know if I send it to them, if they didn't know what it was already, because 90% they probably know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't know and they sat there and watched it all the way through, I know that I will probably have to avoid them for a couple of days because they'll give me an earful. Like,
get a text.
what the fuck did you have me watch? And they're one of those people that'll sit and watch the whole thing thinking that no, they're gonna pull it together. Yeah, it's gonna get better. It's kind of like that M. Night Shyamalan movie with the air. I've seen that movie. Yeah, I've seen that movie a couple times thinking that maybe I missed something. Maybe it's better.
Listen, I've watched that movie a lot, like at least 5 or 6 times. And every time I watch it, I'm like, you know, I can appreciate M. Night's cinematography because the way he would shoot the air and the way it would come, I'm like, okay, he's actually like, it's actually a good looking movie. It's just the substance behind it. You're like, really?
Bro,
they're hiding from the air?
Anytime you cast Mark Wahlberg as a scientist and you put glasses on him to make him seem smarter, I'm like,
where are we going? I think we need to go to this cabin over here. Close the door quick.
Say hi to your mother for me.
I don't know. I could see myself. I can see myself recommending this movie just cause.
Okay.
I'd recommend it to you. If you didn't tell me about it, yo, Marcos, you gotta watch this shit. Then you text me, but like, motherfucker, I need my 2 hours back.
Bro, no, you're hour and 15. Like that's the whole thing. That's
okay. So after this little small run we did of 80s action movies, what's your takeaway when it comes to 80s action movies?
Shit, the cocaine was immaculate. It was pure as hell back then. That's with the exception of like there's true people that the movies that are great in the 80s, they have documentaries where the film creator is like, this is why I made it. Like Big Trouble in Little China is a perfect example. Like you can see the passion. It might not be the greatest movie, but it's like, oh, this is a complete movie. This somebody babied this. Gymkata, it's like a one night stand that you never want to talk about again. Like I'm pretty sure that Kurt Thomas is not like if somebody called Kurt Thomas today, and the last thing he did that I saw here was like ABC Wild World of Sports, like in the late 90s for gymnastics. If you're like, hey man, I'm running this con, can you come out and sign autographs from Gymkata? You'd be like, hello? I think he'll hang up. It'd be like, nah.
I bet you he said at home, like, motherfucker, I want a gold medal. And all these motherfuckers remember me for is
that's why. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like, man, and he has a name. Like, people keep thinking that he's in another movie. Like, I remember we were talking about one of my homies that I told him we were reviewing this movie. He was like, yeah, he did Rad. I was like, no, he did not do Rad. It's another random white guy that was a gymnast in Rad.
You know what? It's funny because like, it's like movies like this, you know, I said it a couple weeks ago. I felt like because technology has come so far with cameras and stuff like this, I feel like, and because of streaming, I feel like it's easy access to making movies. So like, you know, you're getting a lot of shit while you're getting all this, you know, like Oscar winning stuff. Maybe it's just how it is. Maybe we've just always had shit, but then the good stuff peeks through, right?
It probably is true, but there's movies like this that got digitized. Like
Mhm.
this movie is available for streaming for pay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Who saw this VHS and number one, released it as a DVD? And I'm almost certain there's a Blu-ray out there. And then eventually somebody digitized it. It's like, for who?
Oh no, there's definitely a Blu-ray because when I was popping up the trailer to show people, it was for because the release of the Blu-ray.
Wow,
Listen,
you show people the trailer?
yeah,
What
of course.
did you watch this when your parents was over?
No, I watched this on the plane.
I was about to say I would have been like, I think your dad would have just slapped you.
No,
Nicest gentle in bed. Because you
listen,
said, I think I'm gonna watch it while my family's over. And I thought you were gonna pop it on the TV in the living room while everybody's there. And they would have been like,
no,
they
but
would
see,
have cut that trip short. Like, hey man, I'm packing my shit. I'm going.
my dad's one of those people that watches he has his tried and true movies that he likes. So while he was in town, we watched Shrek 2. We watched
I love your dad even more now.
we watched Barbershop. And then yeah. Oh, he loves Barbershop. That's his favorite. And he really wanted to watch Grumpier Old Men, but we couldn't find it.
Wait, is it the same reason that my mom used to love the Medea movies? My mom
No.
didn't understand a word. She would just laugh at the comedy, like the people laughing and the over exaggeration. That's what she would laugh about.
No, my dad genuinely laughs at the jokes. He laughs at he follows along really well. Like my mom, when she watches like Rush Hour, she just laughs and she always goes, "I'm no punk bitch."
You need to record that. That needs to be on the intro. On the next intro we do, you need to record that.
I'm not punk bitch. I should do that. I should take
Get
that.
the audio. And just sneak it in somewhere.
All right. Before we end this episode, obviously, we always have our hot takes. Marcos, since this is the end of the 80s action extravaganza and it was your pick, why don't you hit us first with your hot take of the week? I got one, and I'm curious to see what you think of mine. But
I got one, and it's directly tied into this genre.
Okay.
I think there's two action type fans that splits you in the 80s. And this is for me.
Mhm.
This is for there's the and it kind of gets really into the weeds here.
Okay.
There's the action movies fans of the 80s.
Yep.
I'm more fall along the lines of the mainstream action fans, like the kung fu, the karate aspects of action movies.
Yep.
And I kind of ignored all of the military shoot 'em up action movies. Like, ironically, Chuck Norris was known for his hand-to-hand and was a martial artist. And a lot of his action movies, like Delta Force, was all shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, which I love Delta Force. It's amazing.
I didn't like those movies. I kind of catered to Sylvester Stallone shoot 'em ups because I'm like, I know this guy's not going to kick nobody. I know he's limited.
Yeah.
But I loved Arnold. But I also loved every kung fu action movie that somebody got kicked in the face ever in the 80s and the 90s. So I'm going to say that I think the mainstream people like the stuff that I kind of like. And you were kind of like, it was more like your dad liked the Chuck Norrises and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so
like you talking about your dad, like
you're saying like the older generation probably liked the more shoot 'em up military action style movies.
Yeah, I'm Charles Bronson, Chuck Norris, you know what I mean? Though Clint Eastwood, because he was real heavy in the action during this time, like Dirty Harry type deal.
Yeah,
that was more their speed. Versus my dad, all my favorite action movies was my dad because my dad liked kung fu and action like that.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite movies they introduced me was American Ninja. He put me onto that. Like he used to come home with a videotape. I didn't even know where you buy videotapes in the 80s.
Yeah.
If you go and look back, the prices were like $80 for a videotape. He used to come home with that. Commando was getting play. No Retreat, No Surrender.
Yep.
Like all those movies were like heavy rotation in my crib.
Yeah.
Like I never sat down and watched a Chuck Norris. I knew who he was, but I knew more of him as a Walker Texas Ranger versus, Delta Force. And then when I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, so this is basically Passenger 57 type deal, like rehash with with just a white guy.
Yeah.
And like I like those guys better. Like like Chuck Norris, he looked like he's a cop. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
guess
Chuck Norris fits that bill of like the military sheriff kind of guy. So I can see
yeah,
why he ended up going in that route.
yeah,
And like with Walker, obviously he played a sheriff, but he
yeah.
just used his hand to hand as like a little bit of accentuation.
So to round it out, my hot take that I think that those were for two different demographics. I think Chuck Norris's and Charles Bronson appeared to the people that liked oh my god, the cowboy John Wayne type movies,
Okay,
and like it was a modernization of kind of like westerns
I can see that.
versus the other 80s action movies was more of a new style, different element. And that kind of started with Rambo, because Rambo was a deep story. First Blood was a scathing like tale about veterans when they come back home that just
Yeah,
had a lot of blow them up.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
got
yeah,
successful that they kind of like screw the morality in the story. We're just gonna keep adding explosions.
yeah, yeah,
Where the guy was like, it was like dumbed down.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that because I can see like because I think with Rambo and with like say Die Hard and stuff like that, those kind of movies, like the spectacle of an action movie started getting ramped up a little more. So I can see why that started trending with younger audiences. I think I might agree with you, as in like more of the military-ish shoot 'em up kind of action movies of the 80s were probably geared more towards people that were older, like from the 50s and 60s, and people around our age who were born in the 80s were leaned more towards that, the action hero,
Yep.
or like the hand to hand, the martial arts and stuff like that. Like, like a Schwarzenegger, it wasn't necessarily about him being in the shoot 'em up. It was about Schwarzenegger, him
Yep.
doing some Schwarzenegger shit. So he could be fucking Conan O'Brien.
Oh,
Not Conan O'Brien.
Barbarian.
Conan
Yeah,
the
but that
Barbarian.
would be
Okay,
funny.
he's not playing a redhead. My bad. Conan the Barbarian, or fucking, or Commando or something like that.
Yeah.
And so
Like
yeah,
it
I
was
can agree with
more about this is the perfect movie for that actor
you. Yeah.
versus
And then
Chuck.
and I think when those actors transitioned to the more shoot 'em up kind of style ones, it was like it hit the 90s. So you had your True Lies and your stuff like that,
Yeah, whereas I can only remember like Chuck Norris just shooting machine guns coming out of water. He did similar things
Yeah.
that Rambo did, but Rambo was younger
Yeah.
and he was dumb. Let's be honest. Like Rambo didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And people saw it because it was Stallone. He was basically playing Rocky with a machine gun.
Mhm.
And yeah, versus like Chuck Norris is always about somebody that POW or like this straight and narrow, somebody that was always the white knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Charles Bronson was like that old
Yeah. Death Wish.
leftover cop, like
Yeah. Charles Bronson just looks mean. I didn't like his movies because every time I saw him, I felt like I was gonna get abused. I don't know why.
I knew about him, and it's funny because Death Wish, I thought Bruce Willis's movie was way better, and people ostracized me for that because I just think Bruce Willis is a more likable guy.
Yeah.
Charles Bronson looked like the bad guy.
Yeah, he looks like that dad down the street that like spanks his kids. I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal with him.
Out of shape with the leather jacket and the snub nose and the leather
mustache.
jacket. Let's be honest.
Like,
the leather jacket was so you can't see how chubby and old he was. It's like,
all right. So my hot take. I'm curious to see what you think of this. Okay?
Oh boy.
My hot take this week. I think I was watching Love Is Blind when I thought about this.
Oh God.
I'd love to say my wife is making me watch Love Is Blind, but I actually asked her to turn it on because I was invested. But anyways, my hot take this week is I think we need to start getting rid of binge TV shows.
Oh, you bugging.
No, I think we need to stop with this whole dropping the entire season all at once. And we need to bring back fucking, weekly, appointment TV.
Nah. You know what? Because the world has changed.
Okay. Sell me on that. I'll give you my rebuttal.
The world has changed. In the 90s, people went out, did their 9 to 5s, work, left the house, and was generally home by dinner time. And must-see TV was must-see TV.
Yep.
Me and you are perfect examples. I work remote.
Yep.
My hours are different. You don't have a traditional schedule.
Yep.
So if you're watching Friends on, let's say, on a Thursday night at 8:00, you're not going to be home. I'm probably not going to care because I've worked all day. And then there's the people that work internationally. There's the people that are content creators. I think the reason shows need to be in this binge format is that when you're a person, when you're a person that has life and has opportunity, you don't like to wait on an episode. Let's say, you carved out like
life.
No, it's not entitlement. Listen to me. And I saw this firsthand this weekend. I was hanging out with my wife's family.
Yep.
Young couple, first child. Their child is regimented. They both run this successful small business.
Okay.
Their day, they get home, they're exhausted. The last thing that they want to do is TiVo or like you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. They get on Netflix, they both pick a show, they both end it and stop it at the same time, and they pick it back up when they can. It's not like I'll see you tomorrow at 8. It's like, oh, our kid went to sleep. Oh, my mom took the baby. We have hours. I don't feel like doing anything. Let's order takeout and sit down and watch this. Oh, it's a rainy day. Oh, we're snowed in. Bro.
Okay, listen. You didn't
I think people would have committed murders. Hold on.
No.
People would have committed murders during the pandemic if it wasn't for the streaming era.
No. But but this is why I think your argument, kind of loses a little bit of steam. Okay. Because I didn't say anything about streaming. I said we need to lose or stop doing this whole binge show thing. We need to stop dropping entire seasons all at once and maybe drop 2 episodes, then give it a week, 2 more episodes, give a week, because, you can still watch it when you want, but you can't just sit there. You drop the full season of Stranger Things. Somebody binge watches it in 2 days, and then within the week, no one's talking about it anymore. The best part about a lot of shows, and we know this from wrestling, the best part is you watch a show, whether you watch it at 5 p.m., 10 p.m., whenever, you watch it, and then you have a week of water cooler talk about what you think is going to happen next. What do you think this means? And then it comes back again. I'm not saying you have to be there at 8:00 to watch the show. I'm saying drop, like, again, Love is Blind, I was watching it, and this is why I thought about it, because they would drop blocks of episodes. They would drop 3 episodes at a time or something like that. And I'm like, that's perfect. You drop 3 episodes, and then the next ones pop up 2 weeks later. Now you're jonesing for it. The Last of Us would drop a new episode every week, but you could watch that new episode whenever you wanted. You didn't have to just be there at 8:00 on Sunday.
Yeah, but you would have to schedule your day. Think about when
you wouldn't. You could watch it whenever.
Whenever after it dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you watch it after it dropped.
This is why I don't like that, because anime still does that format.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what kills me? When you're as a person, I'm a grown adult, which means I am very busy. So anything that I do, it's either unplanned or I schedule for it. Like our podcast, I schedule for it.
Yep.
TV shows, like last week, I haven't caught up halfway through yet for half of them. I'll catch up when I can. But what I hate is when I go and open up an app, being that the last 3 weeks, they've been dropping episodes, and then you click on it, there's no episodes, and then I got to get on the Google machine, and I'm using that because I want to bring that statement back, and realize that the anime's on hiatus. No notice no notice on the app. This it, and then somebody just on Reddit goes, "Oh yeah, they're taking a week off this week for the anime because they're dropping a double episode next week because scheduling." And I'm like,
but that's stupid. But no, but that's got to do with an anime, or that show, creating that schedule in people's minds and then diverting from it. So that's different. What I'm saying is that if you drop a show like The Last of Us and you drop it weekly, but you're not beholden to you have to watch it at 8 o'clock on Sunday. You can watch it anytime after.
But
we don't drop a new episode. We don't drop the whole season right then because we don't want everybody watching the entire season within 2 days.
You do know why they drop it periodically now, right?
Why?
Because that's how they retain subscribership.
Exactly. You drop if you're a streaming service and you spend $50 million on a TV show and then you drop all the episodes at once and it's only trending for a week and then everybody moves on to the next one. That's terrible investment. But if you do that and you spread it out over 2 months where you're dropping it every week, and again, you don't have to be there at 8 o'clock to watch it. If you really want to, you can, because that way you can you can start talking about it. You don't want to see, you might not have to spend a day or two hiding yourself from spoilers because you could still watch it tomorrow morning. I'm tired tonight. I'll watch it.
As a person that is used to getting screeners to stuff, I prefer just having it at my
You're
fingertips.
entitled, motherfucker. You just want it when you want it, and you want your cake.
I wanted my MTV Now. Remember that commercial? God damn,
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Again, I get the idea of not doing. If you aren't there on Sunday, then you don't get to see it. I don't like that. I like the idea if it drops on Sunday, right? And then you miss that week just because you're busy. Then next Sunday comes around, the next one drops. You can go on there and go, oh, I missed last week's episode. I can watch that one and this one now, but now I'm caught up and now I'm with everyone again. I'm not sitting there with my friend, having my friends go, you need to get the fucking episode 8 quick so we can talk about it.
I don't know, man. Because I feel it's a slippery slope, because if this becomes highly successful, what's to stop them from dropping half of movies? Be like, oh, you watch the first half?
They already do that shit. Fucking like, Dune 1, Dune 2, come on.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about so the one movie that I think they tried it and they didn't try it was Netflix has done this brilliant thing that they break up long movies into episodes.
Yep.
Like they did it with the Crazy Eight, not Crazy Eight, Hateful Eight.
Yep.
And they did it with the Justice League, the Snyder cut.
Okay, that's HBO Max. Go ahead.
Yeah, but HBO Max, they broke it up into parts.
Yep.
So what is stopping them from they're doing Netflix or like streaming exclusive movies and they're like part A drops today and then it ends like and then they're like, oh, part B is next week.
The thing is I have no problem with that. If you go to the theater, if you're going to the theater and paying money to watch that thing, I think
you're paying money at home regardless.
No. You're paying for a subscription service. Okay. So you're not paying for that show specifically. So they should be able to release it how they want to release it. So it gets maximum impact.
So let's walk this dog all the way. What if they start doing tier? Like, what if Netflix is like, okay, you want, because all these episodes are made. Yeah. They're like, oh, you want Love is Blind? If you pay $20, you can get the whole series right now. Or if you don't pay $20, we drop it on this 8-week schedule.
I say if they want to try that, they can try that. And then if it's not successful, then
because other platforms are happening. I watch a lot of original content on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of them are like funny skits, like this guy Big Jaw, and he started partnering with a website. And he's like, yeah, I drop these episodes every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Yep.
But the whole season is available if you pay $20 right now on this other website. And I'm like, why am I going to do that?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, if you really want to see what's happening next right away, you can't wait. By all means, you have an avenue to go do that.
I just don't like to pay for something that you gave me for free.
But
and
you
you
but,
just
but
and
you're
then
not
you
paying, but you're not paying for the content. You're paying for the right to see the content earlier than other people.
yeah, but it's still like okay.
It's
Here's the
like
thing.
it's
So
like a hot, remember the old wrestling hotline?
I understand that. I remember the old wrestling hotline, but it's like right now Netflix is trying to shoehorn commercials in just live events for now.
Yeah.
I think Netflix is going to start having commercials altogether, even in the shows,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
which I
Prime
think is
Prime
stupid.
just started doing that. Prime started doing it where you have, again, you have the subscription didn't change, except they instituted commercials now. And then if you want without commercials, you pay an extra $2. So here's the thing.
But I get it. Prime never charged me for Prime Video. It was an add-in.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is if you want that extra convenience, there's an avenue for you to get that extra convenience. I'm saying as a creator, as someone who is releasing content, and I want maximum what is it called? Integration, not integration. It's a what is trending? Engagement. There you go. If I want maximum engagement, I want people talking about this show for as long as possible. We've seen it. We've seen shows where you drop the entire season and in 2 weeks, no one's talking about it again because they're talking about the next show that just came out.
Because I think certain shows have a window. Like I think if you're not a strong show out the gate, people are not going to care. I think the best thing to do is to break it up the way they did Stranger Things. Like that legit was probably the most impactful release of a Netflix streaming service. Produced
but you notice,
and it wasn't weekly. They dropped it at a time where they know people were free.
Yep.
And they were available to watch them, and they became events. It's kind of like you dropping instead of you having people watch a 4-hour Avengers movie, you drop Doomsday.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. You're not sitting there saying you can't watch this. You're saying, hey, like I'll agree with you in the sense that like there are shows that are really good that I've liked and didn't get a second season because all of a sudden the popularity dropped off because everybody watched it real quick for the first week, and then all of a sudden they didn't watch it because all of a sudden something else came out and it got passed by. Whereas if they dropped those episodes, if they started off, dropped 3 episodes and then dropped the next episodes going, they might have had more longer engagement to where they would have had more fanfare behind it and it would have, garnered a second season.
Like I think the king of people that does this is again HBO Max. They did it, or is it HBO Max or is it DTF? Have you seen DTF?
I know of it. I haven't seen it.
That show has pulled me in, whereas other shows that is about content that I like Shogun, lost me.
Yeah,
I sat down and watched like 2 episodes, and then I'm like, oh, the next episode, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And it's like the people are like, it's one of the greatest shows ever. Yeah. Just like the Bruce Lee TV show. I haven't gone back and watched it.
Warrior, yeah.
And because I'm like, Well,
that's the thing. Like, so for me, it's like I've when again, like a Stranger Things, like The Last of Us, I'm doing it with Daredevil. It's like when I watch a show and I'm like, oh shit, like I can't wait to see what happens. I did it with Yellowstone. I couldn't wait to see what happened next. But like, there's been shows where I've sat there the whole season's out. I've watched it in 2 days, and then next thing you know, I'm just like, it's gone. It's away. No one's talking about it anymore.
There's like I feel like I guess the way I'm looking at it as an individual that's invested time for no payoff. Do you remember something the story of The Last Man? It was an FX show that came out. Man? Yeah, that came out during deep pandemic, and then they canceled it without us. I watched an entire season only for them to announce 3 weeks after the season that, we're not bringing it back.
Yeah,
I had time that I can't ever have back.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if they had released that season over 8 weeks, instead of just all at once, something like that.
No, they released it over like 10
but,
weeks.
No, but what I'm saying is if they release it and it gets the right engagement, it might have just been one of those things where because it's during pandemic, they were cutting back on a lot of things. Like, hey, it's too expensive. Like we're not going to invest in it again. That sucks, you know?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I think for me, I enjoy that water cooler talk. I enjoy talking to my friends about, yo, did you see this episode? All right, do you think what's going to happen next? But like now, like again, with Ironheart, I watched it. I talked to my friends about it for a day or two and then gone. No, you don't hear about it anymore. And it's one of those things where it's like, I would much rather have that little 8 weeks of like, hey, did you see it this week? Yeah, hurry up and watch this episode so we can talk about it. And then the next week, oh yeah, okay. And it just keeps going. Like, I don't like the idea of if you're not there at 8 o'clock, then you miss it all out entirely. I like the idea of it just releasing episodes every week so that you got something to look forward to. That's all. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast featuring Marcos. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka at the Sunset Kid 5'6".
And come back with us next week because obviously it's the end of the our 80s extravaganza. We're gonna end up doing a 90s extravaganza pretty soon, but I think for the next couple weeks, since it's gonna be my pick for the next movie, I think for the next couple weeks we are dipping into that anime bag.
Okay.
And you're getting a Studio Ghibli to start off. You're getting it. So let's see which one I pick for Marcos next week. We'll see. All right.
Oh, I'm a pick a deep cut that's gonna probably cleanse that trash that you're about to make me watch.
You about to bring out some hentai or some shit. Let's keep it like as let's not try to go.
Actually, it's not hentai, but I feel like it was really I feel like it was R-rated anime, but not for that reason.
Okay.
But,
well, right. let's try our best to stray away from the overly sexual anime. If sex is in there, fine, but let's not make it.
No, it's not even sex. It's just nudity and graphic violence. But anyway.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a couple weeks of anime, so get ready. All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
I'm a warrior.